So the venous blood from the head, neck and the face. So the venous blood from the head and neck, it is written by the deep and the superficial vein. So superficial vein, that is same as the name of the branches of the external carotid artery, which return the blood from the superficial structure of the face and the scalp and to unite to form a external jugular vein. So here you can see this is the external jugular vein, and this external jugular vein that should be drained into that the subclavian vein. So the branches of to forming that the external jugular vein or the tributaries of the external jugular vein, you can see in this diagram. That is the difference vein it should be formed, that is the external jugular vein. That is first the superior thyroid vein, then next one that is the lingual vein, third one the facial vein, fourth one the occipital vein, then the temporal vein, the maxillary veins. So these are the veins to forming that is the single vein, that is the external jugular vein. Here you can see that is the external jugular vein. So this one, and this external jugular vein that should be drained into the subclavian vein. So in this way, that is the venous drainage of the external part of the facial region that should be occurs. So this one. Then the external jugular vein. So this one. The external jugular vein begins in the neck at the level of angle of jaw. So here in this diagram you can see that is the level of the angle of jaw. This vein it should be originate. Then it passes downwards in front of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and then behind the clavicle before entering into that the subclavian vein. So here that is the clavicle, behind the clavicle it should be goes, and then it is enters into that is the subclavian vein. After then we should have to see that is the venous blood from the deep areas of the brain. So let's see the venous drainage of the brain. So here you can see that is the network of the brain which is present in the brain for draining of the deoxygenated blood from the brain and return into near to the heart. So the veins of the brain drain into the intracranial dural venous sinuses. So here that is the large vein are present. So that is the intracranial dural venous sinuses, which eventually drain into the internal jugular vein. So here on the inferior side that is the two veins are present, that is the internal jugular veins. In the another diagram you can see here that is the internal jugular vein. So this one. So all the veins that should be drained into that the internal jugular vein. So let's see the characteristic features of the venous drainage of brain. So first one, that is the venous return of the brain does not follow the arterial pattern. So that is the important feature, because that is the circle of Willis is present, and this circle of Willis that consists of the different cerebral arteries. So these arteries pattern cannot be follow into that the brain. Second one, that is vein of the brain are extremely thin walled due to absence of the muscular tissue into that the wall. So that is also the second important point, that is the muscular tissue they are not present, so there is no vasoconstriction and the vasodilatation of the vein that should be occur. Then the veins of the brain, they have not possess the valves. So generally all the veins consist of the valves, so it avoid the backflow of the blood, but in the brain there is the valves are totally absent. Okay? And the veins of the brain runs mainly in the subarachnoid space. So that is also the important characteristic features of the veins of the brain. After then, that is we should have to see that is the cerebral veins. So the venous blood from the deep areas of the brain, it collects into that the channel called the dural venous sinuses. So here you can see that is the large veins are present. These veins are called the dural venous sinuses. The dural venous sinuses of the brain are formed by the layer of the dura mater, which is internally linked by the endothelium. The dura mater is outer protective covering of the brain, you know it, and the main sinuses are, so there are mostly the 5 sinuses are present. One, it is the superior sagittal sinus in the upper side, here you can see. Then second one, the inferior sagittal sinus, so this one, that is the small sinus. Third one, that is the straight sinus, here small sinus is present, that is the straight sinus. Then next one, that is the 2 transverse sinus. So for this you can see the another diagram, and here you can see that is the 2 transverse sinus. So here transversely present, the 2 transverse sinus. And last one, that is the 2 sigmoid sinus. So here vertically you can see that is the 2 vertical veins, so that is called the 2 sigmoid sinuses. So let's see first the superior sagittal sinus. So this one. So in this diagram you can see that is the superior sagittal sinus. So this one. So that is the anterior part of brain, and this is the posterior part of brain. So the superior sagittal sinus, it should be drain or give the venous blood from the 3 veins: the superior cerebral veins, the middle cerebral vein, and the inferior cerebral vein. So here you can see. So these are the superior, middle, and the inferior cerebral vein, which should be joined that the large sinus, that is called the superior sagittal sinus. So this one. So the superior sagittal sinus, it comes the venous blood from the superior part of the brain, and it begins in the frontal region and passes directly backwards in the midline of the skull. So here you can see that is in the midline of the skull that the sinus, it should be goes backwards. So in this side, then it turns to the right side and continues as the right transverse sinus. So here in this diagram you can see that is the superior sagittal sinus, it should be turned on the right side to form the right transverse sinus. So this one, that is the right transverse sinus. Then next to it we should have to see that is the inferior sagittal sinus. Then the inferior sagittal sinus. So here you can see this is the inferior sagittal sinus. So it lies deep within the brain and it goes backwards to form the straight sinus. So here this sinus, it goes backwards to form that is the straight sinus. So here you can see that is the straight line, it is called the straight sinus. So this one. And then the straight sinus goes backwards and downwards to form the left transverse sinus. So here you can see that is the left transverse sinus. So superior sagittal sinus, it turns on the right side to form the right transverse sinus, and the inferior sagittal sinus, it goes downwards to form the straight sinus, and then it turns on the left side to form the left transverse sinus. So as you know, the inferior sagittal sinus, it gets the venous blood from the deep areas of the brain, mostly from the great cerebral vein. So here you can see that is the great cerebral vein, and this great cerebral vein, it is formed by mostly the 3 veins, that is the septal vein, this one, second one, that is the thalamostriate vein, and third one, that is the choroidal vein. So this vein, it should be formed, that is the great cerebral vein, which is open into that the inferior sagittal sinus. Next to it, that is the sigmoid sinus. So here in this diagram you can see this is the sigmoid sinus. So sigmoid sinus are the continuation of the transverse sinus, and each curve downwards and medially. So here you can see it curves downwards and medially and lies in the groove of the mastoid process of the temporal bone. Then anteriorly only a thin plate of the bone separates the sinus from the mastoid air cells. Then inferiorly this sigmoid sinus, it is continue as the internal jugular vein. So here you can see that is the internal jugular vein. Then let's see that is the internal jugular vein. Then the internal jugular vein. So here you can see that is the two internal jugular vein which are the continuation of the sigmoidal sinus. Then the internal jugular vein, here this one veins, it begins from the jugular foramina in the middle cranial fossa and each continuation with that is the sigmoid sinus. So these are the two sigmoid sinuses. They run downwards in the neck behind the sternocleidomastoid muscle and behind the clavicle they unite with the subclavian vein. So here in this diagram you can see that is the internal jugular vein. So this one. So it goes downwards in front of the sternocleidomastoid muscle and it joins with that is the subclavian vein. So here in this diagram you can see this is the subclavian vein, this is the right subclavian vein, and these two internal jugular vein they should be joined to form the subclavian vein. And both veins when joins with the subclavian vein, so it should be formed that is the brachiocephalic vein. So this is the right brachiocephalic vein and this is the left brachiocephalic vein. Then let's see the brachiocephalic vein. So brachiocephalic vein are situated one on each side of the root of the neck and it is each formed by the union of internal jugular vein and the subclavian vein. So here the left brachiocephalic, it should be joined with the left internal jugular and left subclavian vein, and right brachiocephalic, it should be joined by the right internal jugular and right subclavian vein. Then let's see that is the left brachiocephalic vein. So the left brachiocephalic vein, it is larger than the right. So here you can see or compare that is this is the length of the left brachiocephalic vein, it is larger than the right and it passes obliquely behind the manubrium sterni where it joins with the right brachiocephalic vein to form the superior vena cava. So here you can see this is the superior vena cava. Then let's see the superior vena cava. So the superior vena cava which drains all venous blood from the head, neck and the upper limb of the body. The length of that is the superior vena cava is near about 7 cm and it passes downwards along the right border of the sternum and ends into the right atrium of the heart. So in this way that is the venous blood from the brain and the head, neck, face region that should be drained into that the superior vena cava through that the right and the left brachiocephalic vein and through the right and the left internal jugular vein which drain into the SVC into the right atrium of the heart. So that is the venous drainage of the head, neck and the brain. Let's see the clinical application related with the dural venous sinuses. So the subdural hemorrhage. So it occurs due to rupture of the cerebral vein in the subdural space. So that is the sinuses are present different. So the cerebral veins when they open into that the dural venous sinuses, that is occurs the rupture of the vein. So cerebral veins while traveling the subdural space on its route to drain into the dural venous sinuses have a little support and because of this it should be very easily torn due to that the trauma on the head. Mostly the superior cerebral veins are commonly torn, and it should be occurs the subdural hemorrhage, generally extensive because of the loose attachment between the dura and the arachnoid matter. So that is the clinical point related with the dural venous sinuses.